up? Happy Friday, everybody. Let's lock in. Let's lock in. What are we dealing with over here? What do we got going on? We're going to have a guest on today's show. But we're going to get to people's questions. We're going to do a deep dive in MLB today, and I'm going to have a guest on to talk about it. So, everyone, stick around for that. We're gonna bring a guest on in a little bit. Kind of do a little bit of a deeper dive into the MLB overall for this. And then we're going to, I'll share free play. I have the free play video is up if you're in the Telegram. If you're in the Telegram, you get the free play every single day, so that's there. The full slate is up on SoBet as always. Listen, just a couple days left of regular season MLB. Obviously, we're going to be moving to a lot of NBA props as well, beginning in a couple weeks when the NBA resumes. We've got our NFL, we got CFP, so a lot of different things going on right now. Been trying to get on the site trip and Dre Day. Nice grab at straws on that last row, Alexander. I hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, Dre Day, shoot me a DM if you have any issues. Shoot me a DM. Are you one of the guys that reached out? I just want to make sure I got everyone. Yeah, puck starting soon. I got it sorting through a bunch of these. When was the last time I won, Jimmy John? I'd have to go all the way back to yesterday for that. Yeah, Dre, shoot me an issue if you have any issues signing up, trying to get on SoBet. Shoot me an issue, I'll get you on for sure. Just in general, the best way to reach me is if you hop on my Instagram DMs. That's probably the best way. If you're looking to ask me a question about any of the stuff I'm doing, that's where it's at. All my stuff is on SoBet every single day. If you're in the Telegram, that's totally free. I drop a free play and I update people on everything that's going on. How do I like Tigers money line today? Do Pirates win today or Royals Cubs today? All right, we can look at the Tigers first. We can look at the Tigers game first. Give me 1 second while I pull that up so that we can look at it. Ohtani getting a home run in Coors Field. It's not worth the bet. Like, is he? Decent chance. I'll tell you this though. Ohtani's only 2 home runs back. I got Ohtani at 11-1. I got Ohtani at 11-1 to lead the MLB in home runs. It's not over. It's not over. He goes crazy at Coors. Will be awesome. I think he's 2 back on Judge right now. Is he 2 back or 3 back? Cubs versus Reds under. Wait, whoa, shit. Never mind, he's 5 back. I didn't know Judge is at 58 now. I thought he was at 56. All right. That's a wrap on that one. Oh well. Oh well, it was fun while it lasted. Reds to score first. Ohtani's getting a home run. I like it. Or do I like Royals more? All right, let me actually look at the game, guys. Let me actually look at the game and let me tell you. Only 1 day game today, and we don't have action on the Reds Cubs. I know people asking about the under. The under's not bad in that spot. I would personally stay away, though. I don't think it's a good line. Do we like Alabama money line tomorrow? No. Do I smoke cigs? I actually don't reply to anyone who ever says but. White Sox Tigers. You got to trust the Tigers. Obviously, Crochet's the one guy you don't want to fade, but it's probably going to be about 3 innings from Crochet. When I feel like it, Chad. We're hungry on today's game. Jesse, appreciate the follow. Yeah, so I'm not going to take Alabama in the spot. No. For the White Sox game, if you want to take the Tigers, I support it. Rude Bets, appreciate the follow. I appreciated the Tigers is a fine spot. It's just tough. It's tough to fade Crochet, but also Crochet's probably going to go 3 innings. Listen, he's a great pitcher. He's had some injuries. It's deep into the season. They haven't been letting him go loose go long lately. Um, and obviously the White Sox season has been over for ages. So it's just throw him a couple innings, keep him whatever, get him his reps, and then get him out of there. I would be surprised. Like they'll pull him if there's any sort of issue, if there's a long inning, anything like that. You don't waste your ace in that spot, your trade capital. So he probably goes like 2, 3 innings would be my expectation. That being said, excuse me, he probably shoves for 2, 3 innings. The Tigers are the Tigers officially. Quick summary of friend group bets 2023. Bro, I scroll through the playlist, except I know the account with a lot of them got deleted. So the Instagram playlist, you can see a lot of that action still as well. Um, yeah, but it's been a slow year for 2024 because people don't want to interact with each other because people don't trust each other anymore. But I told you we got they were going to do a show about this whole thing. They were going to do a show about it on Vice, and we were in talks with them for like 8 months. Vice was literally going to like make it a reality show. The whole friend group, the group chat, player props, personal life player props. They were going to do a reality show about it. So we upped it up. We really stepped it up for Vice. We made the bets higher risk. We did weirder shit. We bet on the outcome of like people's babies and stuff. We were just like really deep into each other's lives, really fucking with each other. And then Vice basically laid off like 90% of their workforce, and our project got lost in that as well. And then we had already done so much damage to each other, and then the show was dropped. So no one's really talking to each other anymore. that's the actual that's the actual update. The actual update is that we all their friendships were destroyed for a television show that never happened. I should probably make a video about it to actually summarize because it is a wild story, but yeah, that's the real deal. Maybe I'll do that today. I'll take a note. So appreciate the follow up. All right, so yeah, Tigers. Sorry, I've been taking forever to bring Rude on here. That's my bad. I didn't see the request. We got our guest. We got our guest coming on. We got Rude Betts is about to join us right now. He's got one of the best baseball betting records, one of the best baseball betting algorithms that he's working with right now. Rude Betts, what up, bro? Here, I got it. I didn't hear. Got you now. All right, we're all set. Not much. Just catching up with everyone here. People are talking about the games. A few days left. MLB action, right? A few days of regular season. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I just intercept telegrams from Vegas and figure out what they're planning for the day. That's how I make most of my picks is just stealing information from Vegas. So, yeah, whatever it takes. No, no, no. We just talked like really loosely on some stuff. But yeah, to TJ, what platform you can use while in Utah? Check out Rebet. That's in my links. You can use that whatever. But yeah, let's talk through some games. If you have anything in particular, I think we should talk about Reds Cubs first. I know people are looking for action in that game. That's the one afternoon game. So happy to see what your read on that is. You like the Nerfy in this spot? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the thing about the Nerfy is it's the first play of the day. It's the only play on a Friday afternoon. The amount of people on the Nerfy today is pretty much higher than any spot ever. Like in terms of both it being public and in terms of if you have any sort of lean whatsoever, I know that people want to run the Nerfy. It's Friday afternoon and people want the quick bet. There's probably no play that anyone asks me about more than the sole afternoon game Nerfy. So I don't mind it from that perspective. Yeah. It has to be a specific spot. It has to be a specific spot. Bad value. Yeah. Minus 170. Yeah, that's the Friday night. That's the Friday night or Friday afternoon soul game public on the Nerfy. What do you think? Are you getting anything on the Nerfy? Like what is it? Is it like terrible line still, or are you seeing plus 120, plus 130? Not saying it's likely to hit, but probably a line shift. That's so gross. 125 minus 170. Yeah. Yeah. No, I feel the same way. I don't have a play out for this game. There's a lot of to be honest, the last week or so, there's a lot that I'm not touching, especially props. Pitcher props, guys are either we're gonna leave them in deeper than you expect because it's just an important situation, or you're gonna get pulled 2, 3, 4 innings. Even in spots, even throughout the playoffs, it's not as bad as this, but even throughout the playoffs, the way they use pitchers is a lot different. Your not top guys might get pulled after 4 innings, or you might come back after three, so you can't go deeper than 4 or 5 innings because you're on short rest or whatever the spot is. So there's just a lot of variance in terms of how long a pitcher's in the game, and that obviously cascades to every single play of the game. Yeah. Yeah. How do you feel about hitter props? Are you factoring in much difference on that? Like if you look at a hitter's, over 1.5 bases on a game, factoring they're probably going to face maybe a slightly worse version of the pitcher, maybe a little bit more bullpen, et cetera. Like when you plug that into your model, are you seeing much variance in your probabilities on like hitter overs, basically? Yeah, no, that's interesting. It's just, I'm looking at different models and stuff, and that's like informing some of my decisions. But just seeing what the relevant data points are for someone that's actually plugging in the numbers, it's always interesting. Um, You're saying per fewer hits per at bat. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, and some of the top leverage guys, their numbers are so disgusting. Um, yeah. 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 Yeah, no, I agree. That's kind of what I'm looking at as well. Like if a team doesn't have any if neither team has anything to play for, I'm probably staying away. You know, there's some weird spots too, like the White Sox Tigers. I know that's the next game on the site. The White Sox Tigers, you got Crochet, one of the best pitchers in baseball. 2-3 innings, I would say, from him tops. 2-3 innings is probably all we're gonna see. I don't really know what to expect from the Tigers in this spot. It's just across the board. We've got so many question marks. Now I've been saying this since April. Like we are looking at 14, 15 games a day, but 3, 4 plays because we're just looking at the plays where we have the most information. Everyone's always, what's the lean? What could happen? Could this team win? But we're looking. We want the least guesswork possible. And I know, obviously, as someone that's building models, that's what you're here to do. We want the least guesswork possible. Obviously, it's gambling. Obviously, we're just going with probability at the end of the day. But the least guesswork possible. And there's way too much in some of these spots where neither team is much to play for. That being said, the free play that I shared today was the Rangers minus point 0.5 in the first five. And I know this is a spot where neither team has anything to play for. But with the Angels, I know they've been putting in a bunch of randoms, basically treating it like a spring ball, uh, bringing in some randoms that it look kind of sloppy from what I've seen. Degrom, it's just a couple starts in. He's basically getting his work for the year in, so it's probably like a 4 or 5 inning outing for him. But I expect him to be dialed in. Obviously, despite the injuries, nasty, nasty stuff. Detmers is kind of fallen off, and he's the perfect spot for a guy who's done a full workload all MLB season, nothing to play for. End of the year, wrap it up, stay healthy kind of mindset. Like, you just have to wonder. It's not that people don't care and don't want to win a game anymore. It's just the work that goes in on that 5 day rotation. And then that starts to compound, right? When you start to mail it in mid August, late August, whatever, now you're not really taking care of yourself at the same rate you were mid June. That's been going on for a month, month and a half. That's the sort of thing that I'm looking at for the guys who have nothing to play for. Sure. Yeah, I was unaware of that, so I like that read a lot. Then, having something to actually play for, and of course, every inning from Crochet is a major difference. I don't really know what to expect from the Tigers pitching wise. I see they don't have a starting pitcher named. I don't know like really who's healthy, who's available in that spot either. So yeah, that's interesting. That might be the spot. That might be the sprinkle. Taking the White Sox here. Okay. Yeah. Okay, and just to respond to the chat real quick as well, yeah, playoff picks throughout the MLB playoffs. They'll still be consistent, still be daily. Fewer props because of the variance with pitchers, but we'll still have props up and we'll have daily, money lines, run lines, over unders, etc. Um, all right. I know. Yeah, the ball moved really well. The ball moved like an over should. So I don't like hate the read on that. I would take it again in that same spot. I would take the over again. It's frustrating, whatever. It's the first 2 unit that I missed all season, so disappointed in that. But yeah, the ball moved well. The offenses looked pretty decent. Daniel Jones moved the ball as well as you could have expected him to. They just didn't finish drives. And then yeah, the Brandon Aubrey missed field goal, crazy, easy. I know. I know it's kind of sick. Um, all right, what else were we looking at? Yeah. Also, this is a random question. I like that read, but I was just thinking out loud. Just thinking about some of the stuff that you're factoring in. Do you have anything in the model or any thoughts on the post clinch hangover games? And it's funny because one of the ones we took the Mariners to beat the Astros. This was Wednesday's game, I think. They ended up winning 8-1. We took the Mariners over the Astros. They had third baseman, and I forget his name. He was not the starting third baseman. 4 errors in 1 inning at third base. I don't think he was one of that. Like maybe he was in on the celebration, maybe he was hungover too. But I think he was just getting a spot, getting reps before the playoffs begin type deal, giving some of the other guys a rest. 4 errors. in one inning, and that was what blew the game open. But are you factoring in? Do you have any sort of like coefficient to factor in? Um, the post clinch teams. Yeah. No, 100%. We had I'm in New York, and I had someone that works at one of the clubs around here. Is like the Mets are in tonight. It was a Friday and end of July or something. Friday, end of July, like the Mets are in tonight. Fade the Mets. And it was like it ended up being like an end up close game, but we hit it. So we're 1-0. I guess 2-0 now on the fade the hungover team. So numbers are looking good. I also have a theory that MLB. Everyone thinks that it's like Vegas won't let it happen on Sundays with MLB. All the underdogs are winning, and my thought is that Sundays are just when teams are kind of all over the place. People go out on Saturdays. Some people do, some people don't. We just have the most variance, and I think variance favors the dog. Obviously, variance favors the longer shots. Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean in baseball there should never be a minus 300. There probably shouldn't even be a minus 220. It's absurd. And I totally agree with that. The public this was one of the bigger videos I made, but the public is all about just the general the team, right? And obviously anyone who pays like even a very light level of attention to MLB knows that everything comes down to the pitching matchup and how they face against these individual hitters. That's just the game. So people will just hammer the better team like it's a football game or something, and it's just absolutely insane. Um, I also I think on Tuesdays, the last 3 Tuesdays since the NFL season began, right? The last 3 Tuesdays we've had I think we've been 10-3 collectively on the last 3 Tuesdays because I think that's a big public day. It's going to be Tuesdays in NBA moving forward in the NFL season, Tuesdays in MLB during the NFL season. Just way more public betting because they're just betting more because of football. They're used to betting. They've been betting for the last 3 days, you know, and now they're like, damn. And 99% of the time chasing losses too. So they're just like, all right, how do I get it back? The Braves are good, right? The Dodgers, the Yankees still is it still the Yankees, and they just hammer the big name team as you say. So yeah, I think there's a lot of opportunity there. I'm excited for NBA Tuesdays. We're not getting it as much. We'll have some. I think we'll still get some value with MLB Tuesdays in the playoffs, but basically just Tuesdays during NFL season, looking at some of the smaller markets and trying to see public moving lines in a weird way. Yeah, I think also it'll be interesting to see in this coming week. I know the public in general, and I'm saying the public in general anecdotally. Obviously, someone like you or me that's making content and seeing hundreds of comments and replies in different chats as opposed to conversation with six different friends, it is like a higher sample size. But the public vibe is far more. The public in general has FOMO. The public is trying to catch up. The public missed out on this trend or that trend or whatever. And like, fuck, I knew the dog was going to win, blah, blah, blah. So, with so many dogs winning in two and three, I would be surprised if there's not a lot of action on some of these 5+ point dogs on the money line just because people are like, yeah, it's the NFL. I forgot anything could happen. The NFL is really weird this year. The dogs keep winning this year, and people just, don't understand sample size and probability, I think is usually what it comes out to. If you bet for, minus 300 spots and they're all 75% chance of winning, yeah, you should lose one of those. So, you have to I agree with you. It's about the spreads. And then it's also, I'm a big, big believer in game script in NFL, not literally like what's going to be the offensive defensive approach in this spot, but just what sort of a matchup is it and what that's going to lead to. Um, I don't know. I don't want to get carried away getting the NFL yet. I can talk about that later when, Saturday, Sunday as we get into it more. But I do think that coming when it comes to finding the value on the underdogs, I agree that just generally taking spreads is going to be more profitable. But some of those longer shots on the dogs, a lot of times I feel if you're willing to take a spread, on some of those larger numbers, might as well be with the money line. When you're getting like plus 250 or better. I like that. Yeah, I mean, we know where the Mets are right now. This huge baseball for the Mets. I like the way Mane has been throwing the ball. Um, I don't have a play out on this. I ended up staying away from it, but I am leaning Mets again. The Brewers not a significant game. I've been fading Montas. Montas has gotten it together a little bit in the second half of the season. I've been fading him through the majority of the first half. I'm not a big fan of his. I think the Mets are more of a swing early team, a little bit lower strikeouts, a little bit lower walks, and Montas, his downfall is the walk. So I don't think it's like an amazing matchup for the Mets bats, but I think it's a better spot for them. And I think that Mane has been throwing the ball well. I like the way he's been pitching. So also with the rest and whatnot, I think it's going to be like a shorter, like quicker to get to the pen, quicker to get to high leverage guys. This spot is everything, and because of the rainouts, people are available in the pen. So I think defensively, this is going to go well for the Mets. So that also, I kind of favor the under in this spot because even though I don't like Montas, I think that it's better an above average matchup for him, just stylistically. But yeah, those are just kind of the general thoughts. I lean Mets and I lean under, but none of those were good enough for me to fire on either side. Oh wow. Damn. Right. Yeah, I agree with that. I like I said, didn't end up taking a side in that game, but if I had to, it would definitely be the Mets. It would definitely be the under. But similar to what you said, like it's 7.5. I need to be more confident in the pitching than I am in this spot, for me to really take an under. But taking I do think going with the Brewers not being able to score in this game is a good read. Um, and the one thing I wanted to address the chat on this one in terms of the MLB futures. So yes, I did give you guys the Rangers at plus 1800 last year, and I appreciate everyone who's still remembering that. Um, I've been locked in on the Yankees at plus 900 since March. I won't come here talking like I predicted again unless it's the Yankees to win. Will I put some hedges out and have I? Yes, absolutely. But the Yankees is my official pick. The Yankees is the only one I can take credit for. At this point, in terms of what has value, I don't really love them at plus 450. You're getting half of what we did initially. I think that the Padres at plus 1100 could be worth a sprinkle. Um, I like the Astros at plus 700, maybe like a half unit. That could be worthwhile as well. I don't think you're getting value on the Dodgers or the Phillies or the Yankees, the three top favorites. And then I don't think that the Royals, the Braves, the D backs, the Tigers have a shot. So really, it's like the Padres, the Brewers, maybe the Mets for like a quarter unit. You're getting 25 to 1 on that, so a small sprinkle. But those are really the only teams I think have value. I don't like the Orioles in this spot. I just don't I think they have a really bad path to the World Series. So even at plus 1100, I don't like them. The Padres at plus 1100 is definitely better value in my opinion, especially the way they've been playing the last 2 3 months. Um, but I'm riding with the Yankees. That's who I'm here for. I'll probably sprinkle the Mets just kind of as like a home, like a New York City favorite. And then I might consider maybe like a half unit to a full unit on the Astros just because, they've been playing good baseball. They're a formidable team. And as bad as they started the season, like I think you got to respect the team, especially experience in the playoffs like that. No D backs. I know. 25 to 1, it's not terrible value. I don't think they have the pitching. You're seeing 8 to 1. Oh, 28. I'm only looking at one book right now to be fair. So this is all purely Caesar's numbers, so you're probably getting some better prices if you shop around. 28. Hmm. Wow. Yeah, no, that's not bad. They did it last year. They made it to the World Series based purely on that. They just out hit teams. They just put too much pressure on. The other thing is with series, you put up a lot of runs in the first few games, and you might find yourself in a spot where you've really worn out the other team's bullpen, and that advantage can roll over. So with the longer playoff series, sometimes that's an underrated advantage. Yeah, I mean mine is definitely the Rangers as I've been flexing that for a full year, so I got to get the Yankees this year. I need the Yankees so I can keep that alive. If I go back to back, I'll be pretty proud of myself. I can't put out NFL futures because like I'm a Bills fan. I will give you the Bills every single year. I do think the Bills have a good shot at winning the Super Bowl this year, but like it's just not even worth it for me to put a team out there for NFL because to even conflict any of my rooting desires. I do put out an NFC champion every year, and it was the 49ers last year. So, whatever. Uh, who's your what are you looking at? You're just separating Mahomes and Allen, or you think that there's others up top? No, no, that's I'm a Bills fan, so yeah. I here's what I'd say. I don't no one can be like, "Oh, Allen better than Mahomes based off like results at this point." The 3 Super Bowls is why he'll always go down. I am like talking about who is a talented quarterback. If like I'm drafting a team right now, let's say everyone's the same age too because then you start talking CJ Stroud when everyone's the same age. I think that in terms of QBs you draft to be the QB your franchise starting right now, I think it's Allen and Mahomes. And I also think I would take Rodgers over Brady if I'm talking like take them in their prime to lead my team to a Super Bowl right now. Everything else, same. I would also take Rodgers. I'm not going to say Rodgers is better because of the Super Bowls and whatnot. You really can't argue with that. But especially, as a sports better, you look at like probability and you look at like talent and situational who's going to allow a team to win in this spot as opposed to understanding all the other factors that go into success. Um, and looking at QBs like QB is the most impactful player on the field, but I don't believe that wins are a QB stat. I believe that QB is supposed to move the ball. Yeah, yeah. Right. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. And I don't like to look further than basically 20 years ago. I'm 30 years old. So beyond that, when people start talking about QBs before that, and I actually think anyone who talks about an era that goes before they were like really watching the game, talking out of their ass, whatever. So I can't really speak to any NFL that existed before the early 2000s. But if you're talking about someone's ability to pass the ball, I do think Rodgers is the best, just pure passer that I've ever seen. And that accounts for the last 25 ish years of football. And if you're talking about players in the game right now that are capable of moving the ball, I do very much believe Mahomes and Allen, and then everyone is second tier after that. Like, if we're talking, who do I want to get a first down right now? Yeah. No, no, I get it. I get it. Um, Yeah, I'll tell you one more MLB game. Curious to get your take on today though. Is the Padres D-backs? I know we were just talking about the D-backs offense. Yeah, do you have any thoughts on that game? What is the so D-backs wise? I'm just trying to recall here. D-backs, this is an important game for the D-backs at this point. They're still trying to close out on the Mets. Yeah, they can't. Yeah, they can't if they win out, I guess if they win out, they'd be tied with the Padres if the Padres lost out. But this is a three games against the Padres, right? So if they swept, they'd be tied. And then would they get with a sweep? They'd have head to head. So I guess theoretically they could. We're just looking at wild guys. All right, yeah, yeah. So Dodgers clinch, Phillies chasing. I'm not sure either. I'm just assuming with three games, but yeah, 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 yeah. But definitely, teams are playing to win. This is a real baseball game, no doubt. I'm leaning Padres in this spot, but again, I didn't fire on this game either. This is one I'm saying, which is a shame because I'm looking for very few games where I'm like, all right, teams are playing baseball, teams are playing to win. This fits that category, but I agree with what you're saying. It's just not really a game where there's really value on either side of the ball on this one. Yeah. I agree with that. Nice. Yeah, that might be worth playing. I agree. All right. Well, yeah. Good looks. I guess we'll wrap it up here. Someone was asking about the play of the game. The play I dropped already is going to be the Rangers minus -0.5 first five. I put it up on the Telegram every single day, and the full slate's on SoBet. Anyone wants to check that, it's in my links. Shoot me a DM on Instagram, whatever. Let me know. Get on there, and yeah, definitely give Rude Bets a follow. Check out the Discord. Check out the models, and yeah. Anything else you want to add before we get out of here? All right, sweet. Yeah, I'm down. Let's run it back. All right, cool. We'll do. All right, cheers, guys. Yeah, for sure.